Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 2 is around the corner, meaning that Season 1 is almost over. Today I'll be ranking every Season 1 location / POI from S tier to F tier based off how cool they look. Starting off with Whiffy Wharf. This POI has a laid-back vibe that I really enjoy. The buildings perched above the water give it a unique feel, and the abundance of docks adds to its charm. The octopus-shaped restaurant is definitely the highlight. It's by far the coolest structure here. It seems like they catch fresh fish and sell them right here. Overall, while the location is cool, there isn't a whole lot to do, so I placed it in C tier. Twinkle Terrace. This place is pretty unique, though it has its quirks. There are a lot of strange capybara-like creatures around. I'm not exactly sure what they are. The central building looks like a shop that specializes in lanterns. While the surrounding buildings follow a traditional Japanese home style, it's a bit on the boring side, but it does have a certain charm to it. Overall, I'll rate it C tier. Night Shift Forest. This place is huge and has some interesting features. The forest is filled with a vibrant pink and purple trees, and there's a small lake connected by rivers, along with a larger lake where a turtle used to spawn. Towards the bottom left, there is a random battlefield, and the main building isn't too much to look at. It feels pretty empty and the surrounding buildings are lackluster as well. However, the real standout here is the underground vault, which is packed with loot and definitely makes a solid landing spot. Despite the great loot, the location itself is a bit dull, so I placed it in B tier. Next, we got Bird. This unique POI stands out as the only location on the entire map with a single word name. It's a massive gas station and restaurant combo, blending functionality with a touch of humor. The building where they serve chicken is especially charming with a quirky design and fun details like little food plates that shows a lot of thought went into the setup. On the other hand, the adjacent building is just your typical gas station, offering all usual essentials. However, they sell this. Why would a gas station need to sell something like this? It's a goofy and memorable spot, but while it's fun, it doesn't quite stand out as the best POI on the map, so I placed it in C tier. Seaport City. This POI is a standout hub on the map, and it's easy to see why. With its Tokyo-inspired design, it really captures the attention. I love how the train passes right through the heart of the city, adding to the dynamic feel. Plus the dog statue, a really fun touch. Across from Bird, there's a competitor called Der Sushi, though much smaller. It's got some impressive artwork that adds to its charm. Most of the buildings here are apartments, but there's also a good mix of restaurants scattered throughout. It's a cool and vibrant place to land, making a solid B tier POI. Shining Span. Not much happens here. It's essentially just a massive bridge. That said, it offers a stunning view of both the city and the ocean, making it a picture-cute spot. The grind rails add a nice touch, enhancing mobility and giving the bridge a bit more character. But beyond that, there's not much to it. It's a cool location, but definitely not one of the more exciting ones. I rate it D tier. Demon's Dojo. This is my go-to landing spot, so I know it pretty well. The main building is a large Japanese-style dojo, and there are 5 outer buildings that seem to be used for both living and training. There's also a giant lake with 2 more buildings nearby, but they're mostly empty. Even though this is my drop spot, there's not a ton happening here, but it's still a solid spot, so I rate it B tier. Pumped Power. I don't know anyone who lands here. Honestly, this place feels a bit unappealing. The only thing I actually like is the quirky Earth character. Other than that, it's not really a nice place to visit. I place it in F tier. Hopeful Heights. The octopus is back. This is another laid-back spot with a basketball court, a restaurant, convenience stores, regular housing, and a hangout spot for Hope and Jonesy. It's a great place to land, offering the perfect balance of buildings and loot. Definitely an A tier location. Masked Meadows. This is an even better version of Hopeful Heights. It features a tennis court, a spacious park, and a charming little bridge over a pond. Bird makes a return with a smaller restaurant, and across from it is a shop that sells masks. Definitely a fun detail I really appreciate in this building. The surrounding area is made up of homes and convenience stores. The real standout is the underground section. Looks like experiments are being conducted on the Jizzlers, and they're being used for some unknown purpose. This POI is fantastic. I love the layout of the buildings and the small storyline unfolding with the Jizzlers. It's an S tier location for sure. Foxy Floodgate. This is exactly what the name suggests, a massive dam that blocks off a giant lake above with 2 huge fox statues at the front. The place is pretty average, with the only real standout being the building inside of the mountain. It's great for solo loot, but I don't think it offers enough for duos, trios, and especially squads. There aren't many exciting features here other than the aesthetic appeal. I rate it C tier. Warrior's Watch. Warrior's Watch features the largest Japanese style building and is truly impressive with the intricate artwork. While the outer buildings are mostly empty inside, it's still a solid spot for duos. There's plenty of loot surrounding the area, making it a great place to land, and I just have to rate it B tier. Canyon Crossing is another city location connected by 2 bridges. It's a lovely spot and I really enjoy the waterfall that flows through the other cities. It's quite similar to Seaport City with its apartment buildings and stores, but it feels a bit nicer overall, and for that reason I place it in A tier. Shogun Solid 2. This is the most unique location on the entire map because it has a giant red mountain surrounded by vibrant red trees, bushes, and grass. The buildings here have an ancient, worn out look with mudded color palette. Similar to Demon's Dojo, this POI features a lot of weapons and statues, though some of the buildings are empty and there's not much to explore. It's a cool spot, but I have to place it in C tier. Lost Lake. Lost Lake is definitely an interesting POI. First off, there's a face in the pond, which is a bit creepy. Aside from that, the location itself is quite beautiful, colorful, and surrounded by lakes and ponds, leading into a swampy area. The buildings here are pretty basic, resembling the houses of Shogun Solitude. Unfortunately, none of these buildings have much personality, making the place feel a little bit dull. However, the look is solid. I place it in C tier. Flooded Frogs. I absolutely love this location. The buildings are unique, blending traditional Japanese architecture with bold red accents. This POI stands out for its distinct design, and I really enjoy how compact everything is. At the main entrance, there's a frog spitting water into a small pond, while another frog in the center adds more water to the area, giving a fun, quirky vibe. What really sets this place apart is a secret area accessible only with the Void Mask, where you'll always find rare chests and shield barrels. While the buildings are fairly empty, they're decorated with the cool frog art, and I love how everything is connected, creating a tight-knit village feel. Definitely an S tier location. Magic Mosses. This is another forest themed POI, but what sets it apart is its vibrant green surroundings. The area is filled with trees covered in moss, creating a lush atmosphere. There are several smaller buildings with newer housing, but the real highlight is the underground cave. Inside, you'll find plenty of chests and shield barrels, all surrounded by baby turtle statues. It's a solid spot for loot, but overall, this location doesn't stand out as much as the others, which is why I placed it in C tier. Brutal Box Carts. I'm gonna say it right off the bat, this place is trash. It's very simple. It's essentially a train station where giant boxes are traded for shipping. There's a small Kappa store in the area, but beyond that, there's not much to this POI. Overall, it's not very exciting, so I placed it in F tier, of course. Kappa Factory. This is the newest POI introduced with the Godzilla update. It's a strange factory that produces thousands of pickles, and honestly, I'm not sure what its purpose is or why it's here, but it adds a goofy element to the Fortnite map. Most of the buildings are either involved in pickle production process or storage, with one building seeming to serve as an office. While I enjoy the fun vibe of this POI, there isn't much else to it, which is why I rate it C tier. That is every named POI ranked. Thanks for watching, and of course a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Bye.